Namaste, and hello. I'm Sukriti, and I'm delighted to welcome you all to the Tech Geek podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Folks, this podcast is about the revolution of ChatGPT in the healthcare and life science industry. We're going to explore how the healthcare industry is embracing the power of GPT, discuss its user penetration and impact. Our expert here will uncover the technical advancements of ChatGPT, showcasing how machine learning and transformers enhance its performance. We'll also delve into OpenAI's other tools like AI Codex and DALL-E and their applications in the healthcare and life science industry and take a closer look at how Merck leverages ChatGPT for specific use cases and highlighting the challenges and limitations associated with GPT in the healthcare industry. For all this and much more, I am in conversation with Bharat V, who heads the AIML and Application Administration ITAC at Merck Group. Welcome to the show, Bharat.
Thank you, Sukriti. The pleasure is all mine.
Okay, so Bharat, without any further ado, I'll quickly, jump on to the questions that I have for the session today. Can you share some details about the user penetration of GPT and how it has been adopted by the healthcare professionals and organizations altogether?
Sure. Before that, let me start by giving a brief on what is ChatGPT. So it has been, I think, widely noticed right now. So to give a brief, ChatGPT is a large language model chatbot launched by OpenAI in November 2022. So it takes text-based input in human language and allows human-like conversation with the user. So this model is particularly fine-tuned on conversational language tasks. So we interact with it in conversational form in real time, and it provides back relevant and natural sounding responses. Its ability to perform wide range of activities like let's say writing code, an email, essay, fixing code, or even writing a song, and its ability to match our thought and expectation has made it successful and transformative in the world of AI. ChatGPT is a fine example of bridging the gap between a human and a machine. Okay, this is the reason I would say it has become popular beyond our imagination. To give you an example of its reach, so ChatGPT from its launch within 5 days, it was able to capture a user base of 1 million. So to put it in context, Netflix took the same amount of 1 million users to reach in 40 months. That is 3 years, 8 months. Facebook, I think 10 months. Instagram was the previous record holder for 5 months, and now with ChatGPT, it has done it in 5 days. And this, with this ability to generate the coherent and contextually relevant responses, has made it widely usable also. And this format of chatting with the model and getting the responses has made it widely usable also. So coming back to healthcare and life science industry, how are they embracing it? So I can say ChatGPT will play a pivotal role in transforming the way we approach patient care and scientific research. So with its advanced language processing capabilities, right, it can assist the healthcare professionals by providing real-time information, answering patient queries, and aiding in decision-making processes. It can also contribute in, let's say, drug discovery and development by analyzing a vast amount of scientific literature and maybe uncovering valuable insights which was previously not foreseen. By leveraging this power of artificial intelligence, ChatGPT is going to revolutionize healthcare, life science, paving it in more efficient and personalized approach in the field of medicine also.
Okay, and from the technical standpoint, if I may ask, how does ChatGPT utilize machine learning and transformers to enhance its performance in the healthcare related conversations?
Okay, so ChatGPT, like I told, it's a large, based on a large language model. In this case, it utilizes deep learning techniques, specifically the GPT 3.5 architecture, to process, generate text-based responses in a conversational manner. So what is GPT-3? GPT, the base underlying technology. So it's called, to expand, Chat GPT. GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It's a autoregressive language model which is trained on a huge data set, which has billions of articles from Wikipedia, blog posts, codes, and other contents from the online. So this is not the first model from OpenAI. So if you look at this model number, it's 3.5. ChatGPT is based on the GPT 3.5 model. So when we go back to GPT-1, which was very good at summarization, GPT-2, which was able to do summary and do some responses, and ChatGPT-3, the current model, it has around 175 billion parameters, meaning it is trained on a very huge data set, and that data set is called the pile. With what it forms is, once you train a model on this big huge data set, it forms foundational models or base models. On top of these base models, what OpenAI has done is it has fine-tuned the model to respond to chat. Let me go back. So to give you an idea of what 175 billion parameter means, so these are values on a neural network. Okay, so consider we have a radio, and it has two knobs to fine tune to a particular frequency to get the audio better. Similarly, this model has 175 such billion knobs wherein which can be used to generate the content, meaning it can be fine tuned on particular tasks. So in this case, it is trained to provide conversational tasks. So ChatGPT, it is again, OpenAI is used one more technique. It has used these foundational models, fine-tuned it on chat data so that it can respond to a human in a natural human sounding way. Then it has used something called as supervised reinforced learning. So wherein humans were evaluating the responses by this model, then giving it an attribute of, okay, you gave a good answer, take a positive reward. You didn't perform well, take the punishment. With this, the model again was able to learn on what kind of responses was going to be rewarded. And with these fine tunings and this process, ChatGPT was able to capture this market, and the model is seeing such wide acceptance also. So there have been a lot of other models also previously. None were I can say could come up to this kind of a response, and that is mainly because of the fine tuning on the conversational data set. To coming back to your question on how it can also be used in healthcare conversation. So let's say we have a medical data. So currently, like I told, ChatGPT is trained on GPT 3.5. That base model or the foundational model is trained on a large number of internet data. So let's bring this architecture and train the huge data set again on medical data or healthcare industry data. What this does is this will create models which are primarily used or required for healthcare related question and answers, which will help consume large condense large literature in the form of conversation and help the healthcare professionals to provide the do the research quickly and able to find in relevant information in a small amount of time. So I would say this is going to be the turning point wherein we can see more uh, models which are more focused on particular domains and its application on top of it.
Apart from the chat GPT, Bharat, what are some other tools developed by OpenAI and how do you think they're being applied in the healthcare industry and life science industry? If you could just share an example regarding their usage.
Sure. So, like I told, OpenAI has been developing model, like I told, GPT-1, GPT-2, with various what you call tasks. So beyond that, I can say OpenAI has some notable tools, some being AI Codex, Whisper, which and DALL-E. Okay, to let me break it down. So what is AI Codex? AI Codex is a model that harnesses the power of machine learning to serve as an AI assistant for coding tasks. It helps the developer in generating coding snippets. It can even comprehend and help write documentation and help the developer in his programming. So in the context of healthcare and life science, in with relation to AI Codex, can be valuable ally in, let's say, uh, creating custom or complex software applications, data analysis pipeline, and algorithmic implementation. For example, let's take in the field of genomics. Okay, it can assist researchers in creating complex bioinformatics pipeline. It can swiftly analyze large-scale genomic data, process DNA or protein sequences, and perform intricate computational tasks necessary for, let's say, analysis of gene expression patterns. Let's say the same by automating these processes, right? we can facilitate in precision medicine. What do I mean by that? It actually empowers the researchers with accelerated understanding of intricacies of the human genome. So in this instance, again, it will speed up the process of understanding the genome and precision medicine, which will help in coming up with novel medicines. Coming to Dolly. So Dolly is a model which generates images based on textual description. So it can create unique and intricate visuals that were previously unimagined. So to give an example, or the famous example from the internet, so an astronaut riding a horse. So we know that horse and astronaut images are plenty available. What this model, it is trained on these entities and images. It understands what is a horse and astronaut, and it combines and give you one image where the astronaut is riding the horse. Okay, so like I told, intricate and previously unimagined images. This would have been what you call, from a textual description we are getting this image out. So in healthcare and in the life science industry also, it can help in let's say medical imaging, scientific visualization, and even creation of visual representation of complex data which was previously unimaginable. So again, let's consider a scenario here where a medical professional needs to educate a patient about intricate anatomy of a human heart. Okay, by providing textual description of specific anatomical feature or process, Dolly can generate, again, visually engaging and accurate illustration, bringing life of these abstract concepts. These custom-made visuals can enhance patient understanding and facilitate communication between healthcare providers, patient, and ultimately aid in better medical decision making. So I also talked about Whisper. So Whisper is a text to audio model. It is able to generate audio bytes also. So again, from textual description, it will be able to generate the voice. So again, having chatbots or models which can talk to patients in a sympathetic way would be a very good use case in this area also. Again, all these features for AI Codex, DALL-E, or Whisper, we have a foundation model which will be, has the capability of performing this task. So will it be already know the anatomy of a heart? Might not be, because it is not trained on such data set. In future, like I told, if we create, pick up on these architectures or these kind of models and fine tune them on the particular data or particular field which we want to target, it will provide better results.
Okay, now that being said about other, the tools that are developed and being utilized by the healthcare and lifestyle industry, how is ChatGPT 3 especially being used by your company Merck, and how can you discuss, if you can just help us with some specific use cases or applications of the GPT-3 version within your organization, Bharat?
Sure. Thanks. As you know, Merck is a science and technology company bringing about cutting edge innovation in life science and healthcare. That being said, employees are involved in, I'll say, critical research and development activities. So our Merck data office came up with a tool. They have created My GPT. So it's a custom built AI chatbot which integrates the capability of our data and analytics ecosystem called Optimize, using AI models through which are accessed through Microsoft Azure Cloud Services. So the team has created this clone of ChatGPT to ensure that it is thoroughly reviewed by our cybersecurity and data privacy teams to adhere to the security and let's say data privacy policy of our company. So now with MyGPT available to use with internal data and use cases, our Merck employees can securely make the best use of these foundational models with the API without worrying about our internal data getting leaked. So this actually accelerates the efficiency of every employees in the company. And we are also building on top of these APIs to create custom models. To give an example, in where other in Merck we can use these APIs or ChatGPT kind of models. Let me say Merck wants to improve its marketing and sales campaign. So it can do that by providing ChatGPT the uh, data to analyze customer data, identify trends and preferences and developing targeted messaging and content with targeted audience in mind. So ChatGPT will be able to analyze this huge data and provide targeted content for the targeted audiences. So in the same way, if you want to improve sales, we can do by automating, let's say, lead generation, scheduling appointments, providing personalized product recommendation for the sales team. It will also enable the sales team or the sales rep in real time with the information on the products which Merck is putting out, pricing, and also competitor information, also competitive pricing based on the other values which are there, to help them engage with the customers more effectively. So going ahead with other examples, I can say we would like to monitor and analyze the adverse effects of drug reaction and identify potential safety issues which might come from a drug. Similarly, we want to develop chatbots that can provide patients with personalized support and engagement. So we want to create a bot which would be sympathetic, which would be empathetic to the queries from the patients and provide personalized support and engage them in by providing, let's say, reminder of their medication doses, what is the side effect they are tracking, and even provide some lifestyle advices. We can also use this ChatGPT kind of models to develop, let's say, educational chatbot that can provide the patients and healthcare providers with information on specific diseases, treatments, and even medications. So again, Merck is also into creation of what you call, they conduct a lot, create a lot of drug discovery also. So if, let's say, we want to conduct a clinical trial, we can use these models to already improve the recruitment and screening process of the clinical trial patients by interacting with potential participants and answering the questions about the trial, and also giving them what is the eligibility criteria, compensation, all these details factored in. It will be able to provide what I would say is a proper set of people whom we can utilize in the clinical trials. Yes, Sukriti.
All right. Yes, Bharat. So, I would like to close this conversation with one of the most important elements that comes along with technological adoption, which are challenges. I'm sure, the adoption rate that we are actually into. A lot of things comes along with it, and one of the most important factors would be challenges. Now, what are the challenges of current limitations that you would see associated with ChatGPT, or GPT in general, when it comes to healthcare and their usage? How are these challenges being addressed or mitigated currently?
Okay, thank you. So to go back, I'll give again a brief about what it means. So these models are first of all trained on a huge data set, and ChatGPT currently is only trained till November 2021 data. Yeah, November or December 2021 data. After that, ChatGPT doesn't know of all the events which has taken place. Okay, so then with the wide usage, with many people interacting with ChatGPT from the initial launch to as of today, there are a lot of improvements which has happened in ChatGPT. So what I mean to say is, initially there were even though after putting on all the safety and security guardrails, the chatbot was still able to provide information which was not supposed to be given. Okay, and in this case there are a lot of data and security concerns, data privacy and security concerns which come as a part of it. So being a healthcare and life science industry, Merck, we cannot be able to put our data on the web, or there are a lot of proprietary data which we would like to interact with. So as a first step for our company, at least, my GPT is vetted by our cybersecurity team. So we will be able to use it for our internal and uh, personal, not personal information, but to some not confidential data, but still the internal data which is available in Merck. So similarly, ChatGPT maybe we don't know how it will be able to handle patient information. When we talk about healthcare industry, will it be storing what you call, be able to safeguard the patient information and will it not be used in somewhere. So to give an example, okay, I have talked to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT has used my question and answer to retrain its model so that it will be able to answer a particular information in future um, sessions better. Okay, when I provide healthcare or patient information, what if it uses this patient information for someone else, or it is giving the information out? Someone knows what data has gone in. So if he has pointed questions, or is he able to bypass that guardrails by ChatGPT, will he able to extract that information? So data privacy and security is one of main problem which we see. Again, to ensure that how do we mitigate it, we have to make sure property security measures. What we should be aware of, what data we put in the model, and have anonymizing techniques in which we'll be able to mask the patient data and then train the model. Okay, that would be one. So again, ChatGPT is a model which generates data. So whatever question it is you are asking, it doesn't know whether the answer is correct or not. So what it does is it generates based on the question and what it has learned. It chooses the best probability of the next word and it generates that word. And that accuracy is so good that we think that it is able to understand and answer, but that is not the case. So ChatGPT can confidently give you a wrong answer, and it can hallucinate on topics which it doesn't know. Meaning, you ask some question it doesn't know, it will, based on its previous reading, it will be able to relate and go on a tangent which is not coherent, and it will not be uh, understandable. Okay. But these kind of models can also be used. Let's say we train the model in such a way that it gives you wrong information. So having the right data uh, and a lot of data makes a lot of sense. So when we know that the knowledge has currently, I told you, it is trained on a lot of internet data. So if there are some bad data which are not cleaned up by the team already, it would be able to promoting the same data as true, and people who might not have taken the time to uh, what you call evaluate it or test the results or make sure the response is right, will be picking it up and using it in some other use case also, which would be leading to wrong conclusions. So like I told, it is trained on a large knowledge base, and it might consist of many inaccuracies, and this might even lead to some patients receiving incorrect health advice also. So again, like I talked about earlier, with these architectures, we have to see, even when we are training it with the healthcare data, we have to make sure the data is properly vetted, make sure all the inaccuracies are corrected, and uh, make sure whatever responses are coming also, we should have a proper validation set where we always test the responses of this chatbot to make sure it is providing the right information. So by ensuring these accuracies and reliability on the generated content, we can prevent and control the potential harm these models can have. Okay, then continuing with the same, biases in data. Okay, so let's say initially when a question was asked to chat gpt on who will be the best doctor, which gender is best suited for doctor, if you look at the historical data, uh, due to women not getting the right education or not aspiring to become doctors might be the reasons historically. With those data, what has happened is, what chat gpt will infer is, since many of the male have become doctors, from a statistical point of view, it will say male gender is the best suited for a doctor. So again, these kind of biases also need to be analyzed and made sure it is removed before we actually provide it to the model. So again, these chat gpt will contain many biases. Again, we have, when we are training it on a big data set, again, we don't know what are all the biases which are even, there are many biases even which we will not be able to catch how, and again, it is the challenge for us and how we will be able to address this problem and able to clean up the data to make sure uh, the data is cleaned up with these biases and other things. Okay, so again, what does these biases do for a healthcare industry? So for drug discovery, let's say potentially leading to a development of a drug that is less effective or have unintended side effects for the certain population. So population, gender, ethnicity, everything will have a factor in the drug discovery. So it might be, like I told, ineffective, or it might be have side effects to certain population. So ensuring that our data set is diverse, it has all the representative data set, it will be a vital way to at least mitigate this bias. So
All
then,
right, Bharat, thank you.
to
I think this the set of challenges that you've just spoken, and we do know that it's not a full-fledged current information that comes out from GPT, and it's like a WIP that is for the industry. No matter which brand ChatGPT is being utilized and used as a service, but garnering this thought with the healthcare industry, some information that is already feeded in is being utilized, and I'm sure every industry is trying to utilize ChatGPT in the best possible way. Thank you so much for being here with us, Bharat, and giving us a download of how it's being utilized in the healthcare industry.
thanks a lot, Sukruti. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about this topic.
Thank you, Bharat, once again, folks. I hope you this is a new set of learning for you, wherein knowing how ChatGPT is being utilized in the healthcare and life sciences industry. I hope you've made note of the important factors that the tools are being utilized for, and how machine learning is being one of the utilized as transformers here. Thank you so much for joining in and tuning into this podcast. I'll be back with another episode very soon. Till then, stay safe and take care.